Hi, I'm Trish from Chromatical. I'm a colourful digital marketing specialist who's so excited to share my 10 years of marketing knowledge and experience with fellow creatives like you. I've done a lot these past 10 years. I've built shops and blogs, ran courses, created marketing strategies for businesses big and small, and that's just to name a few. Marketing is my entire world, so if you're here because you want to market your brand a little bit differently, a little bit more colourfully, then you're in the right spot. Let's start. Today I want to talk about building trust on your website. There's so many things that you can do on your website that can break trust and make people feel a bit unconfident about buying or booking with you, and there's things that can create amazing trust that sort of you don't really think about being something that is an obvious thing that can create trust necessarily, but all of these things added up together make people feel super confident unconsciously, like they're not looking around your website for these things, but by having all these things across your website, people sort of have this comfortability and just automatic trust to buy with you because they don't feel that anything could go wrong. So I thought I'd run you through a few of them. The first one is consistency through where they've come from. So if they've come from Google, they're usually going to see a thing called metadata. So you know when you Google something and you see the blue heading with the text below of what people expect to see, that should match where they're going. So for example, if that said, oh hi, I am an aquarium and I am going to sell fish and turtles, and then they clicked on your page and it was a paintball place, I'm going extreme examples here, people would go, oh, this isn't what I expected, buy. Now that's an obvious trust breaker, but if it's something even just a small amount of not similarity, so if people were expecting a free ebook and it was a way to sign up and pay for something, it would be a break of trust and they wouldn't trust your brand anymore, possibly. But it's just one of those factors of making sure things are the same from where they come from to where they land. And the same is from social media. So if you've got some sort of vibe on your social media, you've got a logo and you look like you and you use certain type of wording and colors and fonts, or maybe not fonts on social media, but you know what I mean, all of your style and branding, and then they're like, okay, I'm a bit interested, I'll go look at their product, and they click through to your website and it looks different. It's a different vibe, it's a different voice, a different style of wording, it's got different color pattern to what they're used to. There's a sort of unconscious feeling that maybe they're not in the right spot, or oh, is this her site or has she just linked me to someone else's site? And there's a sort of question of, is this where I'm supposed to be? Or because they trust you, they love your page, they're ready to buy or book, and then they've landed somewhere that which isn't familiar anymore. You've spent so long building up that familiarity on your Instagram or Facebook pages, and then sent them somewhere foreign, and they're like, oh, this is different, I don't know if this is what I was meant to do, and they can back away slowly. So on my website, I try to keep a similar color palette. There's my photos everywhere so that people see my face, which you guys would see on my Instagram and know that they're in the right spot immediately. My voice hasn't changed, so I still talk like this. I still talk like I do on my Instagram accounts. I haven't gone all of a sudden, oh, now I'm on a website, I'm going to talk all proper. Nothing like that. It's just all the same. So wherever you go, you just know that you're on the same page, which is a comfort, and people just know that there's no disjointedness at all. So another thing to build trust is to include contact information visibly, like really visibly. A really good thing for e-commerce is, for example, to put a phone number or contact details in the top navigation, because it is not necessarily that they're going to contact you, but so don't fear putting it in there. Like a few people might, but generally people don't. But it's an unconscious trust that if something was to go wrong, I know that I'd be able to talk to someone, or oh yeah, that's an Australian phone number, they're real, they're not someone who's just created an online store from overseas and trying to flog stuff that you just don't know. There's a trust that, hey, if something goes wrong, I can call this number and it'll be fine, and you just don't think about it, you just know that you're safe. Other things like that are easy contact forms. Have an issue, just contact us here and we'll get back to you in a certain period of time. That's a trust factor that knows that, oh, okay, if I can't call them, for example, I know that I'll hear back from them ASAP if I do have an issue. So just comforting is really, really good. Same with offering pages with all of your information about returns, refunds, all of that sort of technical information so that people can look through that and know if a certain situation was going to happen, this is how it would result. Offering free exchanges, for example, is a peace of mind sort of thing, but they know and they have this trust that if this doesn't fit or if this isn't right for me, then I know that I am still safe and my money will still be safe. So all these little trust factors really build up to people ending up to make that booking and ending up to make that sale. Credit card details, for example, if you have a secure website, post that everywhere. Share your details to say you're a trusted website with security, because even though we're so used to like swiping our cards on everything and tapping and typing them in on the internet, there are still websites that aren't secure, that don't understand privacy and all of that sort of thing. So you do have to be mindful, and there is an, again, unconscious feeling if a website doesn't feel good or doesn't have that obvious credit card approved, credit card accepted and safe and secure and all of that sort of stuff, that it might be compromised. So by putting that front and center, especially when people are checking out, gives that confidence and trust that their bank details are going to be safe and it's all sort of legit. Other trust factors, what have I got up my sleeve, is general website design. So things like having an updated website that doesn't look like it's from the 90s, that is clean and modern and updated, and that, if there is a date somewhere, that it is current, so it's not copyright 2016. It's like, is this site still running? I don't know. But keep these things updated, keep the themes updated, keep new rotating photos on the front, for example, so people know that you're there all the time. Bother to invest into a basic website design. It doesn't have to be super fancy and cost you $1 bazillion, but update it to something that's modern and clean, so that people have that trust that it's a safe place to use, that it's a modern website, because it all relates back to you as a brand. If you don't have a updated modern sort of website, it does have a bit of a trust, like, oh, I don't know if I should buy from them. It's a bit of an old website, but when you've got a clean, updated template and theme and it looks modern, it's got the right dates on it and everything sort of feels aligned, there's no questions. It's just like, cool, I'll book this now, I'll buy, no problems. Really, really good. Now, I mentioned a little bit about putting your face on it, chucking your noggin on the website. So good, so good. Whether it's on the front, mine's everywhere on my website, I know, but I am the face of my brand, and people, again, expect that when they move from different places to see me. So you don't necessarily have to be like that, but at least have an about me page that has a really clear photo of you or you and your team or whatever you do, because it shows to whoever's shopping with you that, or even in the checkout, to say, hey, if you have any issues, you'll deal with me. There's this massive trust factor of a real human, because they know that if they read this, it's, hey, I'm a family, small run business. This is my business. You're dealing with me. If there's any issues, this is who you'll talk to. It's so much better than a faceless, nothing brand that could be doing anything. Like literally, someone from China could whip up a website with a .com.au URL. Actually, I don't know if they can do that, but for example, and market themselves and just be a faceless brand from nowhere. You don't know who you're supporting. You don't know where the money is going, what it's all about, and there's a little bit of an untrust when you don't know whose business it is that you're buying from. You're like, will I get this product? I've bought from a few places like that before just because I really wanted the product, and I just had this uneasy feeling. But sometimes if I ever have that uneasy feeling, I'll go looking for an about me page, and usually if there's a photo of them and a bit of a story about their lives, and it's a bit, I don't know, I love the about me's about people usually, but I feel okay again because by seeing that, I'm like, oh, all right, I'm fine. They're just these people that live in Mornington, no problems. And there's just an immediate trust. And trust is everything with business. When you're an online business especially, that's all you have. All you have is what you show. Your website is your shop front. So if you need to make that super welcoming, you need to cater for everyone in the best way you possibly can, so that, you know, your product could be the best product in the world, but if you don't offer that cozy feeling and that trust in order to buy, you're losing sales basically. So there's just a few pointers of things that you can add to your website, change, update, to make it super trustworthy, so that people will be comfortable to book or buy with you. So run over your website, have a look, see what you could do to improve it, add to it, tell your story, add your photos, add your little bits and pieces that talk about all of the good things in your website, like the ways people can contact you, credit card security, update it if you possibly can, and you'll notice a difference for sure. And that's all from me today. I'm Trish from It's Chromatical on Instagram, or you can find me at chromatical.com.au. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. I always forget to say that. I'm so dreadful. I tell everyone else to do it, but I don't do it myself. Naughty. Please subscribe. It would mean the world, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.